At least it wasn't at auto closing, so I can hopefully trust the Skype recording for the YouTube audio. But Claire Scanlon, our director, I think this is the only thing in film that she's really done. It's mostly TV up to this point. And so I put a lot of episodes down. We've got 2 episodes of The Office, 5 episodes of Faking It, 4 episodes of The Goldbergs, 2 episodes of The Mindy Project, 1 episode of Modern Family, 3 episodes of The Last Man on Earth, 4 episodes of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
A lot of NBC sitcoms.
1 episode of The Good Place, 6 episodes of Fresh Off the Boat.
I mean, that's like an NBC in-house TV director.
3 episodes of Blackish, 10 episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and 2 episodes of Abbott Elementary. So yes, this is
in-house NBC staff director. Interesting that one of those shows follows me on Twitter, Brandon.
Oh, which one? I want to take a guess. I'm gonna guess Blackish.
Blackish does not follow me. No, it was the Mindy. It is the Mindy Project. Follows me on Twitter.
And I thought you don't have a Twitter anymore.
I mean, it's defunct. I think it still exists, but like you can still send me stuff, but I have removed it from everything. It does not exist to me.
Is it because you're protesting Elon for saluting?
No, it was before that even. I was, partially Elon based. It's just also a time sink in a negative way.
That's why you're not taking quotes this week, though, is because of Elon.
That's one of, that's the protest.
At least one of them. So like in-house NBC, Abbott Elementary is ABC though, I think, right?
I think so.
But for the most part, it's
in the same style, of course. Too.
Oh, of course. And then a writer today, her name is Katie Silberman. She's only written 3 other things. She wrote Isn't It Romantic?
Ooh, no.
She wrote Booksmart.
Ooh, the Olivia Wilde wannabe Superbad.
Yeah, females with Jonah Hill's sister in it. Yeah.
Pretty good.
That was pretty good. And then she wrote the film that I don't remember why this had so much drama with it. Don't Worry, Darling. She wrote Don't Worry, Darling. Don't you remember
That's the whole Olivia Wilde one?
It's the other Olivia Wilde one. Yeah.
Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles. Yes, of course, because they had an affair on that one.
Yes. But then also, wasn't there a thing about Chris Pine being mean to Florence Pugh or something as well?
I think, no, he was always a mensch. I think Olivia Wilde was mean to Florence Pugh. I think Chris Pine was always a good guy.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I just
remember back because she cheated on Ted Lasso with Harry Styles.
That is still, honestly, Jason said that poll of Olivia Wilde, she's a banger. I've heard she's kind of a bad person, honestly, but she's a smoke show. Seth would be nutting over here right now.
The greatness, the capacity for great darkness exists in every man and woman's soul, Brandon, especially Seth's, and he would be nutting you right.
Is that a proverb?
It's a prediction.
It's just a prediction. Okay. And then how about a cast today? There's actually a decent amount of people in here. There's Zoe Dutch, who I think was just kind of
Deutsch.
I think it's Dutch, but it's spelled like Deutsch. She's just coming onto the scene at this time. You've got Glen Powell, who was just coming onto the scene. Yeah. You've got Lucy Liu as well.
Who's been on the scene.
As Taye Diggs, who are the bosses.
They're cool.
You've got roommate Pete Davidson.
Early Pete.
You've got Joan Smalls. You've got Meredith Hagner. You've got John Rudnitsky. And then Titus Burgess. He was on Kimmy Schmidt, right? I think he was on Kimmy Schmidt. I never saw Kimmy Schmidt. I didn't really either, but I think he was on Kimmy Schmidt. He played Creepy Tim, the mechanic guy. Yeah, Creepy Tim.
I don't know a single thing about that show.
And then this, I just put this very briefly in the notes or in the cast.
Covered in there.
You won't know who this is at all, but it's Cody Calafiore.
Wow.
And he is a very successful reality television competition player on the show Big Brother.
Oh, he's the biggest brother.
He's not the biggest, but he was on Big Brother. And
He's a large brother.
ironically, Marina and I are watching a different NBC/Bravo reality show called The Traitors. Have you heard of it? It's on Peacock.
No.
It's kind of like a mole situation where there's 20 house guests
Ooh, they live underground.
No. There's 20 house guests. 17 of them are deemed
They're
faithfuls,
blind.
and 3 are randomly chosen to be traitors. And every day the house
Everyone's gay.
No, every day the house will try and vote off a traitor via majority vote, and then at the end of each day, the traitors of whoever is left will then murder one of the house guests and eliminate them from the show until it dwindles down.
And they're letting this happen?
Not real murders.
Oh.
They just kick them off the show. And then if you get to the final 4, you decide whether you want to keep playing or end. And if you end and there's a traitor still available, they take the whole prize pot of $250K.
Wow. I see.
Cody Calafiore was on that season as I was writing the script.
That does sound. I do like those elements. It sounds very Shakespearean. I have been showing the children Paradise Hotel finale clips intermittently throughout the year as we study the standards of the English language.
Fantastic. Well, I recommend you watch The Traitors. There's a lot of this second season's got some Survivor legends. We had Sandra and Parvati on it. Sari was on there. There's Real Housewives. That's all the Bravo. She kind of is, but she's an amazing Survivor player.
A good game player.
And then how about a plot for Set It Up?
Oh, the plot thickens.
I knew you were going to say that. 2 corporate executive assistants hatch a plan to matchmake their 2 bosses.
They do they?
That's what they do when they set it up.
So it's like a double. It's like a double pen pal type of movie going on here. They're 2 pens.
Kind of.
Situation. Within
the movie, they reference other forms of media and say they're doing like a Parent Trap in a way. Yeah. And then a little history. Set It Up is a 28. The history is coming.
Oh, fuck. The history's coming. Paul Revere. Good guy, right?
Yeah, I think a good guy.
And there was another one. We always talk about this.
Yeah, we never remember the other guy's name.
Edward something?
Yeah,
no.
Edward Berge.
Who was the other Paul?
It was Edward Bergeyman.
William Dawes.
Oh, I was close.
Edward Bergeyman.
Dawes
looks gigantic.
Set It Up is a 2018 American romantic comedy film. For the premise of the film, 2 assistants attempting to set up their bosses actually came from the film's producer, Juliette Berman's real-life attempt to set up her boss with the boss of another assistant that she had a crush on. In February of 2016, it was announced that Amelia Clarke had been cast in the film, with Katie Silberman writing the film, while Justin Nappy and Juliette Berman were producing the film under their Treehouse Productions banner. MGM was originally set to distribute the film, but in March of 2017, it was announced that Zoe Dutch and Glen Powell had joined the cast, with Dutch replacing Amelia Clarke, and Claire Scanlon directing from a screenplay by Silberman. Netflix eventually replaced MGM as the film's distributor once they found out that Amelia Clarke was not going to be in and pulled out of the project. And Scanlon said in interviews that she had ideas for a possible sequel should Netflix reach out and schedule one.
Quickly, Set It Up sequel names. Knock It Down, right?
Ooh, yeah. Now you don't.
No, you don't. Because they would just do Set It Up too, but
yeah,
Set It Up, Knock It Down. That sounds.
Or Set It Up again.
Build It Strong. Set It Up again. Set It Up once more. Yeah. And I was gonna say Amelia Clarke would have been good. she hasn't really capitalized too much on her Game of Thrones fame, which I think not many of them have. I guess Kit Harington is
Yeah.
too short to do anything meaningful. Nicholas Waldow, whatever his name is pretty good looking though. He should be doing shit.
I mean, the only one is Peter Dinklage, but he was already established beforehand.
The Mountain just like wrestles Jake Paul on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
And then finally, I was gonna say we're going through film history in my film class, and we're watching a Buster Keaton film as our first entry. And his career was ruined by MGM once he signed to them because they wrested creative control away from him. So
and not the Vegas hotel guys.
I think they're related.
I do think they are related. I think
they?
Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer is the owner of all of it, but it's the hotel didn't take him down. It was just the production company.
Yes, it was probably Meyer.
Yeah, one of the three. So I do like the question of what should the sequel be called. Knock It Down is pretty good.
Knock It Down. Set It Up Again, I like. Yeah.
Set.
Maybe we should incorporate that as a regular bit, as a regular segment, and maybe at the end of the movie, like, if this has a sequel, what should it logically be called, and not just,
Yeah, like we do with the taglines, and like, I like it.
Everybody loves Mel, everybody hates Mel, of course. Yeah.
You just do the opposite.
Yeah.
So a Netflix film, two rising stars, not quite on the scene yet, but then two bigger names with Lucy Liu and Taye Diggs in some supporting roles. This all leads to something important. We're talking critic reviews.
Yeah, baby.
No, we're not doing critic reviews. It's budget time.
Even worse. Way worse.
Can you set it up in time?
And then knock it down. Last week, I pulverized Steph.
Yeah, you did. I think it was like 9-1.
So Bitch Soup, the return is on the menu this week, Seth. So budget for this guy, Netflix was shelling out around this time. And these are some people. This is a movie. So I'm gonna say $35 million. That might be
Seth
low.
Seth wins.
Is it low?
Right at the end, you said this might be low.
Is it low?
You're wrong. It's $13.8 million.
They made it cheap, Brandon.
They made it cheap. Like I said, it's
cheapish.
It's two people just on the rise, but they were shelling out in 2018. This is like the start of their push to really develop a lot of their own films. Like I think this is when they made Roma. They were probably in the process of making The Power of the Dog.
I mean, yeah, Power of the Dog was 2021, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, David Fincher was making like House of Cards and Mindhunter and shit.
The Irishman, that was 22, but
Irishman.
They started really pushing.
Was a good shout.
Although that was probably a pretty low budget film, except for Alfonso Cuarón. Or was that Iñárritu?
No, it was Cuarón. You get it.
Okay. So $13.8 million.
It is crazy shit.
It's Netflix. I don't have any box office returns, so.
In totality.
In totality.
Reach a theater.
In openings, and
do you think
it does feel like it would be a successful theater release in my mind?
It feels theatery. I wonder if any girl, I guess any person, ever rented out the theater and showed this. You know what I mean? Like they can do.
Yeah,
I doubt it. I mean,
you could honestly, if you drop this movie in theaters today, I think it does better than it did in 2018 with the superstardom of Glen Powell now.
Glen Powell can sell hot shit to a toilet. That's right, bitch.
Oh, that's a good bar. That's a bar, baby.
Thank you. That's doing Outhouse.
Because I mean, like, what was he in just these because he was in Top Gun Maverick, and then he did Twisters, and he did Hitman.
Sydney Sweeney one.
Anyone But You, and then I think I'm missing one of
the big ones. I feel like he was in a cameo in one. Yeah.
God, I feel like I'm missing one other big one, but already those are.
I feel like he's in Armageddon, even though that was 30 years ago.
He was. I found out. I saw a clip of him in Spy Kids 3D.
Oh, of course he was. He's
He
probably
fights
gunning
he
that shit.
he fights
Like the Spy
Junie.
Kid.
He fights Junie when they're on top of those like robot fighting thing, like fucking
Yeah, like
Pacific.
mecha
Like,
things. Yeah.
yeah, what's that movie called?
Pacific
Stainless
Rim.
Steel? No, I think
Oh,
Pacific
Real Steel.
Real Steel, not stainless steel.
Stainless Steel. The sequel
Oh, that's good.
of Real Steel. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Sequel
there we
title.
go. That's a good one. So, Spy Kids 3D was a pretty good sequel name.
No, no. What are you talking about?
I
Spy
think it was pretty good.
Teens.
Spy Teens, that's good too. But that's when they were pounding 3D. That movie was so 3D.
They're pounding teens. Then yeah, you're right.
No, no, no. So
Yeah,
a $13.8 million budget, no true box office returns, but Netflix is booming at this point.
not
So
to speak of.
they they made up. They made it back for sure.
You could say, yeah.
You have to speak up?
No,
Oh. I thought that's what you
you could
said.
say.
Oh.
You have to keep up.
Guys, I've forgotten for weeks and weeks. It's not really like
Weeds
weeks and
and
weeks,
weeds.
but to tell you guys about this movie idea that I wrote down.
In your dreams?
Well, I woke up from a dream at 4 a.m. on January 13th, and I was like, I got to put this to paper. So, like, half asleep, just typing in
Pen to
the bed
paper.
next to Marina, fingered a phone. I put down, son wants to reconnect with his father after a parent's divorce now that he is an adult. And he ends up on a road trip with his little half brother where they bond, and the father ends up being an asshole.
That's
And
right.
we
Yeah,
talked about this in our group chat.
I think it has some real pain vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that does sound you're, which I think a lot of the movies you like and are interested in follow that model too of like a dysfunctional family wrestling, trying to sort through that all and perhaps
Yeah.
not finding so in a happy manner.
Yeah, that is true. I do come up with kind of these ideas more often than not, and you'd
And I
think
think
that
you like those films too. Yeah,
it could stem from like a past of that, but no, I
you have
don't
a pretty
have
happy
this
family.
troubled family past. So,
I think
but
maybe that's because I love movies. I was talking about this with Alex primarily about like power struggles and like people like vying for power. Maybe that's because I don't do that in my life because I just
hmm,
like as a teacher and just fucking chill.
interesting, interesting. You
There's little
like
power struggle to speak of.
Amelia Perez?
I think I will. We've been watching the trailers in my English classes for all the Oscar movies, and it
You're
looks
just
fucking good.
you're just playing that one song to your class where it's like
That's right. Penis
man
to
to
vagina.
woman, woman to man, penis to vagina, rhinoplasty, yeah,
Penis to
and the
vagina.
mammoplasty, yeah, vaginoplasty, yeah.
Penis to vagina.
Penis to vagina is a bar. So
Penis to
we're through
vagina.
with budget. It's tagline time, and there's only one, but I think it's actually pretty stellar.
He thinks it's stellar. Okay.
Maybe not quite as good as those Wally ones when we decided we weren't going to make our own taglines, but this is up there.
In honor of it.
It's finding love takes some assistance.
That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good one. The double entendre with assistance.
Double entendre. They're setting it up.
So,
That's good.
I mean, that's really good. It might be hard to beat, but any taglines of our own? I kind of said this in the opening. What about
Bump set it
set
up
it up?
spike. Set
Set
it
it up.
up. Bump set it
Yeah.
up spike.
Set it up. It's
Set
just super horny.
yeah. And pervy and kidnappy. Um
Oh.
hmm.
What about any real relationship requires some work?
Yeah,
Is it
I like this
is it
if
focused
it's in
around
the
work?
um if you don't die in this life, may Satan absorb your soul in the next.
I mean, I like it. Maybe not for this movie, but we'll
Yeah.
bookmark it
Okay. All right, we'll
later.
bookmark it.
What about
On the wings of love sit Lucy Liu and Tay Diggs.
you just name drop them? Yeah.
Yeah.
This film is not filmed in a Dutch angle, but spelled
Philly
Deutsch.
Dooch. Um Powell.
Yeah, Powell.
Powell.
Kapow. Those are some
I
good
like your
ones.
first one. It's pretty great.
The first one I said is Seth It Up.
That's right. Set it up.
That's the one you're talking about, not a true relationship requires some work.
I think Seth would like the honorific naming after him.
Yeah, but he's not here, so we're going with the other one. He gets
Okay, you're
runner
right.
up.
He does get runner up because he
So
can't
if
run.
so if this one can't compete on the circuit and fulfill its duties as Miss Tagline,
Yeah, then
Seth It
Seth
Up
it up.
will fill in. Yeah.
We'll let him know.
And wear the crown. Yeah. So with that, it's fact time though. And I mean fact it up.
Backed it up. Set it back. Why am I so tired?
Yeah, Lord, another big yawn.
Zoe Fax. Cafactal.
What about factuitary gland?
Facting on chili dogs.
No, we already did that. What about Netflax? Like
Netflix. Like your flaps on your neck.
yeah, neck flaps. Neck flap
Flaps.
facts.
Neck flap facts. Neck flaps.
Neck
Just
flap
neck flaps.
and that's it. Just no facts after neck flaps.
Neck flaps. Neck flaps. You gotta say it like the duck.
I think we've already done Aflax though, so we can't do it like that.
Okay,
We'd have to
do
do
it
it
like Tony the Tiger
then.
then. Flaps.
Neck flaps. I like it. There we go. Because there is not. No, we're not at 3. We're already at like 12. Because there's no box office returns to guess on, you get to guess how many facts I have.
7.
And I'm going to make you be within 4 on this because there's no way I'm going to have like 22 facts.
Ooh, you're right. So I'll say 7.
Yeah, stick with 7. That's probably pretty safe. You win. It's 1-1. I've got
How many
9.
facts are there? He's got 9 facts. That's interesting in and of itself. Okay.
According to director Claire Scanlon, the pizza scene was the opposite of romantic to film, and the amount of the pizza consumed was disgusting. As a result of Glen Powell being gluten-free, the prop master was responsible for securing 2 different types of pizza for the scene. Zoe Dutch
all gluten-free.
Refused to use the on-set spit bucket during the multiple takes and ended up eating so much pizza she threw up.
That's her fault. But also, just have gluten-free pizza then. Why does she need pizza with gluten in it? Have the same pizza that's gluten-free.
I've heard gluten-free shit sucks.
No, it's fine now.
I went to the food zoo my freshman year of college and I wanted an English muffin and I didn't realize I was in the gluten-free area. Grabbed a gluten-free English muffin.
That was probably gross.
That was like the worst thing I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, that was like 45 years ago. Now gluten-free, it's like perfect.
That was over 10 years ago. It was almost 11 years ago. So, but anyway, yeah, I've heard that doing eating scenes is like the worst to do.
Touch and do an eating scene. Yeah, well, I've heard this bit bucket technique, yes, but that could get gross too.
Unless you're Brad Pitt, and you just eat.
He always eats.
He's always eating. Next, director Claire Scanlon initially envisioned Amy Poehler in the role of Kirsten. So Harper's boss, Lucy Liu. She envisioned Amy Poehler
as good.
The powerful,
she worked with her on every NBC show. But yeah,
sure. She envisioned her as the powerful, like, women empowerment sports editor.
I can see Tina Fey being fun in there too. Yeah.
I can see Tina Fey more than Amy Poehler. Tina Fey, I feel, has a better dramatic
executive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's got that scar in her cheek where she was cut in the face when she was a kid.
She's a kid. It's fucked up.
That is gnarly. Next up, Glen Powell and Zoe Dutch have previously starred in something together. Do you know what it is? You really enjoyed this film.
Schindler's List.
Oh, no. It's from 2016.
2016 film. Whiplash.
Linklater.
Everybody Wants Some.
They were both in Everybody
I do
Wants
like-
Some together.
I do like that.
Additionally, Lucy Liu and Taye Diggs previously worked on the
Powers.
same film.
Balls of Glory.
No,
The ping pong movie.
not in Balls of Glory. 2002.
White Chicks.
Oscar winner.
White Chicks 2.
Chicago.
Chicago. That was my next guess.
After White Chicks 2.
Yeah, after White Chicks 2.
But Everybody Wants Some.
Good. 2 exclamation points.
There are 2 exclamation points at the title, yes. Next fact, the movie initially came in at about 2.5 hours long, with over an hour of footage eventually being cut to keep the movie at a tight running time. The majority of the scenes cut dealt with Kirsten's backstory of being the sports editor, and I'm like, I'm fine with cutting.
Backstory.
Yeah, it's like 50 minutes worth of backstory for the one boss.
2.5 hour cut is insane for this. Yeah.
For a rom-com, yeah, for sure.
It doesn't feel like it's like the most sped up thing of all time either, but yeah.
And it comes in with the credits. It clocks at 1 hour and 45. It's about 1 hour 40 watch, which I think
perfect.
Is totally fine. It's an easy watch.
Money's worth.
Anything is an easy watch after you've watched A Brighter Summer Day.
But it's a beautiful watch.
It is a beautiful watch.
A beautiful summer watch.
Marina always says, like, if it's over 2 hours, it's got to be something that's like really going to draw me in. And I'm like, I think as long as it's under 2.5 hours, I'm usually pretty good. Once you pass that 2.5, I'm like, I got to be getting some true substance here.
Some brighter summer substance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brighter substance day.
And I think you're probably in the same boat there. Like, you're pretty good up till about 2.5.
I mean, that's pushing it. Yeah. You got to be pretty good if you're 2.5.
Once it passes 2.5, regardless of the film, it almost feels like a chore.
The Oscar.
Yeah. Next, and it cannot be a rom-com. It's got to be a fantasy or something like that.
Of course
Some crazy storytelling. Next, Harper was originally written to be 28 years old, but the filmmakers changed the character's age to 25 when Zoe Dutch joined production, who was only 22 at the time of filming.
Yeah, she probably couldn't play 28. That doesn't seem like a significant change, though.
I'm 28. You don't think I'm...
You could go 25.
A hot, young, sexy little girl.
You could play... No, you could play 25, I think, probably.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
All the kids think I'm like 22 to 25, so I think I could play young.
You could maybe pull off 25. I don't think you pull off 22 because of the facial hair and your height in general. I think it helps. With me being shorter and pudgier and baby faced, like my newest tech when we hired her, she genuinely thought I was 17 years old. It's like a child.
I think I could go high schooler. Yeah. I could go to college though.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Next. Lucy Liu was very involved in the wardrobe selection process, as she and the film's costume designer, Rebecca Hoffer, worked frequently together on Elementary from 2012.
What a girl. What's Elementary?
I don't know. Movie. I don't know what it is.
It's a gum.
Movie or Elementary?
The gum brand.
What's your favorite kind of gum?
Oof. I Trident.
I loved growing up some good 5 gum.
Oh, I hated 5 gum.
You hated 5?
Totally. You just got suckered by the campaign. Yeah, 5 gum was gross.
And I do love just like some of the classic Wrigley's, like the spearmint and I'm not very big on the Big Red, but
I hate Big Red. Juicy Fruit.
Juicy Fruit's okay. Actually, I'm kind of a fan. Maybe not the grape flavor that Auntie Danelle carries around, but those icebreaker gums where they're like the little cubes. You pop 2 of those in. Those are good.
I feel like I always just grab like a Trident if I can. Maybe like even a fruit Trident.
Yeah. What was those ones? Oh, I think it was Trident, where it was the layers. It was like stacked. It was like two
Yeah, those
flavors
are
and then
good.
a fruity one in between. That's the
Those are
best
good.
one. Those are good.
Those are good. Trident layers. Shout out.
Okay, three more facts. Glen Powell's grandmother can be seen in the crowd at the Yankees game.
Gross. Gross. On
What's that
purpose?
gross?
She's old,
Sure.
probably.
I mean,
Old.
probably.
She plays for the Yankees? That's crazy.
No, she doesn't play for the Yankees. She's just in the crowd. She's a Yankees fan.
Yankees fan. Good for her. And
Um,
girls.
Penultimate, another Yankees game fact. During the scene at the Yankees game, the song Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News plays over the stadium intercom. That was the theme song for Back to the Future from 1985, which starred Zoe Dutch's mother, Leah Thompson. Did you know she was the
Oh,
daughter of
no.
Thompson?
Nepo baby.
Yeah.
Wasn't Leah Thompson in another movie we watched?
Howard the Duck. She fucked a duck.
Howard the Duck. She was great in Howard the Duck. She was
We loved
hot.
her in Howard the Duck. Oh, she was really
Howard the
hot,
Duck
actually.
is a good film. That makes sense. Wow. So Zoe Deutch is a Nepo baby.
Yep, exactly.
Where does it end?
And I knew
Brandon,
she
where does it
was a
end?
Nepo baby, but I couldn't remember who her mother was. I kept thinking it was Goldie Hawn, but I was like, no, that's Kate Hudson, right? Kate Hudson and Goldie Hawn.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I
So,
think.
another Nepo
Yes.
baby.
Jennifer Hudson and Goldie Hawn. That's
Not
right.
Jennifer Hudson.
And Goldie Hawn.
And my last one is nominations. And it's just a single nomination. It didn't win, but at the Hollywood Critics Association Mid-Season Awards for 2018, it was nominated for an HCA Award for Best Female Director.
The Handicap Awards.
That's HCA, handicap, yeah.
Yeah. Handicap
So,
Awards.
that's going to end our Neck Flaps.
Neck Flaps. They're for kids. So Nicole, she's having a little troubles in the love department lately. So she
She
goes to
isn't.
her
Have you
gal
seen Baby
pals.
Girl? She isn't.
She isn't, but have you seen Baby Girl?
I have.
Did you like it?
It was pretty good. I think I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5.
Okay. It had Oscar buzz, but didn't make any nominations.
The only thing that I would have seen it get is a Nicole nom, but I honestly liked Antonio Banderas, her cucked husband in it, more.
Her cuckable husband. So she's been having some problems, and she asks her homegirls to set her up, right? So if you hook me up, set it up with another guy,
Yeah.
blind date style.
Who
We've
are
done her on a blind
homegirls?
date before, I think. Her homegirls are
Jennifer Hudson.
Rebecca Hall, Jennifer Hudson, and Angela Merkel, the big three.
And they set her up on a blind date, and she goes and she finds it's Seth. They've set it up.
And she immediately vomits and retches and clambers towards the exit. And Seth is blocking the exit with a devilish eye that says no, no, no. She shrieks, she throws things at him, she tries to break through the window. Seth said, I planned that. The windows are unbreakable. And then he lets her go out of mercy. She spills onto the street and flees, right? And then Seth goes, but the hunt has just begun.
And then they fall in love because she likes to be chased.
Yeah. And Seth shaves his beard.
And shaves his beard. So she's having trouble in the love department. So she meets up with Rebecca Hall, Angela Merkel, and Jennifer Hudson, who set her up on a blind date with Seth, who's hijacked the date to not let her leave. And she is puking.
She loves it.
Until he lets her go, and then they fall in love.
The perfect blind date.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't think of a better one. I've never been on a blind date myself, but that's how I would hope mine would go.
I haven't either.
Either that or like being on like a blind date camping trip with a 2-person tent and getting to really know the other person as you set it up.
And fart at night, yeah.
And fart at night. In a tent with each other. Trapping all that shit in.
It would be the end of it all. So how about Now that she's found her man.
Should we hop into a movie?
Movie.
Yeah, a movie.
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 Jesus fucking Christ.
What?
No. We did the podcast.
We did do the podcast.
Doing the podcast.
Only 45 minutes, basically.
I don't think we had some tangents.
Yeah. We talked about gum.
Yeah.
Forgot about tried.
I hated 5 Gum.
You hated 5 Gum, huh?
Oh, I hated it. I like Big League Chew. I like
Big League Chew's bad. What about the zebra gum? That stuff is terrible.
That was gross. Fruit Stripe was pretty gross.
Gross. That's what I was talking. That's the zebra one. What about chiclets?
I like chiclets.
Those little like tiny.
They're kind of like
things.
gum. I guess they were shitty.
Did you ever have Razzles?
I hated Razzles.
They looked like little Legos and they were sour and they were supposed to be candy and then they turned into gum.
Those were getting bad in action. The roll of tape gum, that was gross.
That was pretty bad.
The Bubble Duck.
Hubba Bubba is good, but it's
Hubba Bubba's plastic for blowing bubbles.
For blowing bubbles. That and Bazooka, but they're so big, which is why they're great for blowing bubbles. They're so big, you're like.
They do hurt your jaw. Quench gum.
I don't know what that is.
Gum. Ooh, they had good gum. Maybe we can finish this up tomorrow then, Brandingo?
Yeah, I'm actually off tomorrow, so.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. I have a games on Tuesday and Thursday, so tomorrow should be do it.
Cool. Later,
Homeski.
Bye.